Welcome, fellow recovery pilgrims. I'm Jonathan, and in this recovery discovery session, I want to talk about grace-based recovery. Recovery from addiction is hard work, but does that mean that the outcomes of sobriety and peace and joy rest solely on your shoulders, and that your identity and worth are tied up in your recovery? I believe that the engine for true recovery and sobriety is grace, God's grace. This is the undeserved kindness of God through Jesus Christ. A foundational scripture that helps us understand this is Titus 2:11 and 12. For the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation for all people, training us to renounce ungodliness and worldly passions and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in the present age. It's the grace of God, not the law of God, that trains us to live sober. The opposite of grace-based recovery is performance-based recovery. The idea that your worth and identity are defined by your recovery, whether you do or do not act out. Here are several key differences between grace and performance in recovery. In grace-based recovery, confession explores mistakes to learn and grow from them. In performance-based recovery, confession punishes bad behavior with a start-over mentality. Grace-based recovery leads to humility. Your worth and identity are based on God's view of you regardless of your behavior. Performance-based recovery leads to pride. Your worth and identity are based on how well you're doing. Are you acting out or not? Grace-based recovery shifts the focus to God and others. You're called to love and serve others in response to God's kindness toward you. Performance-based recovery keeps the focus on yourself, your behavior, your needs, your recovery. Grace ultimately sets you free. Performance only manages your sin. Jesus said, "Truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin. The slave doesn't remain in the house forever. The son remains forever. So if the son sets you free, you will be free indeed." Grace-based recovery is about living in your true identity as a free son or daughter of God. This identity and self-worth is found and flourishes by grace through a relationship with Jesus Christ. Where have you been placing your hope for sobriety? In your own performance or in the grace found through the finished work of Christ? What will you do today to shift your recovery paradigm from performance to grace? Thanks for listening. If you have a recovery discovery you'd like to share with us, please send it to recoverydiscovery@puresexradio.com or text it to 210-549-8748. And until next time, keep pressing on.